You're a good teacher, a good educator, a good businessman. You know how to keep order. You know how to keep things safe. Or at least, you did until the coronavirus. Working from home has challenged everything we know about business, about how we interact with people, and how we manage a class. The primary software people have been using is a program called Zoom. I'm going to give you a fast and effective introduction, not to the cool reasons why you should be using it, but how to make sure when you do use it, you'll use it safely and securely. First, in case you don't know, I'll introduce you to the risks. In a conventional lecture, you can very easily identify people who don't belong, and you can identify problematic behaviors even as they begin. On Zoom, that's not exactly the case. It's very easy to get overwhelmed by the amount of people you're organizing, even more so when you're trying to run a class and not manage the software. Recently, criminals have been sneaking into people's calls and inserting pornography or violent content or otherwise attempting to intentionally disrupt your lecture. Obviously, this isn't ideal. So, let's talk about ways of making sure it won't happen.
This is Zoom. You create a meeting either from the Schedule button or New Meeting. Let's start with a pre-scheduled meeting. We click Schedule. We have the usual options for a topic, start time, etc. Now here's where things get interesting. Meeting ID is the secret code that identifies your meeting. If you share it, any person with that code can access the meeting. As such, it's better to use the Generate option to have it make a new unique code for every meeting. Meeting password is your first line of defense. You should always have a password, and a good one, on every meeting. The password is part of the link you send out, so no one you invite will need to type it in, but the bad guys would have to guess it. Always do your best to only share the meeting link, ID, or password with people who should be in the meeting. If you post it publicly, anyone can join your meeting. There are a few more options you should know about under Advanced Options down here. Enable Waiting Room is something that I will demo when we get to the in-meeting security, but it's going to be the second line of defense to keep unwanted people out. Now let's go into the meeting. If you click on Manage Participants, you can see all the people who have joined in. If you selected the waiting room option before, you'll need to approve everyone who tries to join on this pane here before they can come in. It's a great way to weed out troublemakers, and you can also kick people out of the meeting from here if they cause trouble. Now click on the security button at the bottom. You have some cool and useful features down here to keep safe too. Once all the good people are in and have joined, or if you're under attack, Lock Room prevents anyone else from joining the meeting. You're unlikely to use this, and sometimes people you want in the meeting can get disconnected and then they won't be able to rejoin, but it's good to know you can lock things down if needed. Here, you can also turn on and off the waiting room I described earlier. Now for what participants can do. Unless you have a specific need, you should disable Share Screen and rename themselves. Share Screen lets you share your screen with everyone, and by default, anyone in the meeting can do that to their own screen to disrupt the meeting. So turn that off. And the initial name people join with is another tool you can use to keep track of them. Don't make it easy for them to hide. Well, that's everything. Stay safe, stay happy, and may this corona thing be over soon.